Hello fellow modelers. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to weather the 1 to 35th scale Challenger 2 from the previous video. Before we begin, you first need to varnish your model to seal off the paint job. I used MIG's matte varnish for this purpose. Here's a quick preview on what I did since the last video. All the rolled wheels are finished painting. Decals have been added here, 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 here. Oh yeah, and also here and here. Before anything is done to the model, give it a quick brush with a flat and soft brush. This removes any dust. We'll need to prepare a few things. Oil paints. The one I got here is really cheap, but it still works fine. A paint holder, just anyone will do. Some foil if you want. This can be cut to the right dimensions and be wrapped around your paint holder, so you don't need to clean it later on. Oops, sorry for that. I don't have anything professional to hold up the camera, so I'm just using some glue tack. So this is how it should look after you press the foil into the right shape. Next, we'll be using oil paints to give the model a wash and to make it look muddy in some places and dusty in some others. The color I'll be using is mixed out of yellowish brown and black. Mix those two colors together until you get your desired color. The paint is now a little too thick to be directly applied to the model, so we need to thin it down a bit. We'll be using some of MIG's odorless enamel thinner. I made a mistake here by forgetting to use a stick to guide out the liquid. If you don't, some of the liquid will just flow onto the side of the bottle and not into the paint holder. Now give it a good mix. The consistency we're looking for is like milk, not watery thin and not cream soup thick. Let's test out the color first on the side explosive reactive armor. It may seem thick now, but after we spread it out a bit, it'll be fine. If it still looks too thick like mine here, then dry off your brush on a paper towel and try to soften the tone of the color. Well, that didn't really work out for me, so now I'm just going to use that paper towel and directly blot it on the paint. I don't really recommend this method because the paper can stick to the paint and you'll have small clumps of tissue left on it. Of course, you can clean it up later. The effect of this method does turn out pretty cool. It looks as if mud has really caked up in some places. Now let's do the same thing on the rest of the tank. And here is the finished model. As you can see, the oil paints really make the tank look much older and dirtier. This kit was pretty fun to build, but there are many places that just didn't fit together. I also lost some pieces, the most obvious one being one of the smoke discharges. I bought metal tracks and added some antennas to the tank for better realism, but I haven't weathered the tracks yet. make antennas really simply from extra plastic screws and heating them over fire. This is a radio-controlled tank, so it can move on its own. However, it has no sound. Here's how I turn it on. This thing here moves the turns around even if the motor isn't placed in the exact center. I put a little bit of weight to the opposite side of the gun barrel to even out the weight on both sides. However, it's still not heavy enough, so it still leans to one side. As you can see, the tank is a little underpowered. It cannot drive only on one side due to the weight and the little power it's being given. And the turret ring just popped out. Just got to place everything back together and it should be fine. This is a heavy little guy with workable suspension. I really learned a lot from this build, made many mistakes, and experimented with quite a few things. All in all, it was a good build that I remember for a long time. If you are interested in modeling or have something to ask about, feel free to leave a comment. Please support my channel by liking and subscribing. Until next time, have fun modeling.